More than ever, staying connected is an integral part of our modern lives that we just can't escape. It's no longer about streaming movies while you're in the bush, but rather keeping in touch with your family and friends, managing your finances and bills, and for me specifically, I need it to run my business and do my job. It is also an important aspect of accommodation, navigation, and safety when you're on the road. However, here in Australia, once you venture beyond the major towns and cities, phone reception absolutely falls off a cliff regardless of which carrier you use. Therefore, for remote travel, Starlink has quickly become the best and really the only option for dependable internet on the road. But it is not without its shortcomings. If you look online, the internet is flooded with reviews and tutorials, but let's be real, most of them are just trying to sell you sponsored products. They often overcomplicate what is really a very simple device to use, and many of those products I find are a step back and not required in most people's cases. So in this video, I'm going to cut through the noise and I'm going to share with you my personal Starlink setup, which we have right here on the table, that I've been using and refining for well over a year. It's affordable, it's incredibly simple, and it works flawlessly while you're driving. And when I need it to, it can be popped off the roof in seconds and relocated to anywhere you want it to be, including right here on this table, as I'll show you later on. Before we get into it, a quick disclaimer. Just like every video that I have done so far, every single product that I'm talking about today was paid for in full with my own money. There are absolutely no sponsorships or paid promotions dictating what I say here. It's purely from my personal experience that I have found to work for me, and I hope it will also work for you and save you some money. So if you do want to check out any of the gear I mentioned in this video today, there are links from Amazon in the description below, and using these links is a great way to support the channel at no extra cost to you. Also, if you do appreciate honest product reviews like this video, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button for me because it really helps me out. Let's get stuck straight into business. My entire system is built around a clip-on, clip-off design that takes seconds to remove and relocate. On the car when driving, the Starlink Mini is secured using a 3D printed clamp mount that attaches to my roof rack. My specific roof rack is a Pioneer platform, and I had to alter it slightly by cutting out some channels with a Dremel so I can fit the T-nuts in there, but it's not a big job at all. The mounts aren't strictly for Rhino racks. It's going to work pretty much with anything you have, perhaps with some slight alteration. To power the Starlink on the roof of the cruiser, I'm using a 12-volt Anderson to Starlink connector, which is wired directly to my 12-volt system in the canopy. There is no fancy equipment here. It is just basically a wire. I don't know what all these accessories are selling online with all these different step-down adapters and stuff, but you really don't need anything more than this. It's been working fine for me. Don't worry if you don't have an external Anderson plug. There is a very easy USB-C alternative, which I'm going to show you in a minute, that works just as good. To finish the roof setup, I have a protective Perspex cover to defend against physical damage and from low-hanging branches and flying debris. However, as part of preparation for this video, when I did take it off, it did break a little bit, but I think it's going to work completely fine. Just keep in mind that Perspex is probably not the most UV stable plastic out there, but it's better than damaging your Starlink. And this kind of wear and tear is not surprising because the dish does live permanently on top of my Land Cruiser 24/7. I only took it off for this video. I just make sure to plug it out when I'm not using it to avoid draining the battery. It has been exposed to the harshest Aussie sun, rain, dust, and there is zero indication of wear and tear or weathering. As you can see in this video, I literally just gave it a wipe down. Now, the roof mount is great 99% of the time, but what happens when you're parked under heavy tree cover or you want to take the Starlink away from your car entirely and go set up next to a mate or go for a walk? This is where the quick release system really works well. And here is exactly what I used to relocate it. The first and most important thing you need is a USB-C to Starlink weatherproof cable, just like this one. Like I said, there are no fancy tools or equipment here, just a basic cable that I've left in the link for you below. It works with any 100-watt USB-C power delivery source, whether it's a power bank or anything else. We'll talk about that later on. Second, you need a Starlink to tripod adapter, which is very cheap and can easily get it online from Amazon. And the third thing you need is a quick release plate. I personally use the Falcam F38 plate because I have it and I use it for my cameras, but any other standard quick release adapter will work just as fine. And finally, you need a tripod. I just use the same camera tripods that I already carry with me when I do these videos. You don't need to have anything fancy here. Any tripod of any size will do the job, whether it's something tiny like this or something big like what you can see in the video. Find what you like, and even a used tripod from Facebook Marketplace or eBay is going to work perfectly fine. Just get whatever you're happy with. Now that all of this equipment is out of the way, when I need to move the Starlink off the Land Cruiser, I either use my 10-meter USB-C power cable plugged directly into the 12-volt system of the canopy or the trailer, or if the cable isn't long enough and I want to really move the Starlink somewhere far, I use my power bank. On a full charge, this specific power bank gives me around 4 to 5 hours of runtime, and it is very, very easy to use. That's going to be plenty of time to check your emails, download maps, or get some work done. And you might now be wondering why I'm recommending an external power bank like this instead of buying one of those fancy dedicated batteries made specifically for the Starlink Mini. And it comes down to two things: affordability and versatility. As you've seen, I've just plugged it in and the Starlink is already working. So I can literally take this outside now and start using my Starlink. But if I don't need to use my Starlink, I can plug this out and I can use it to charge my phone. I can use it to do many, many other things. And that's because the dedicated batteries are expensive and they're very specific to the Starlink Mini. Using the USB-C power cable means that you can use any power source, and you can use your power bank for something else if you don't need it for the Starlink. I use my power bank every single day, at home and on the road. I use it to charge my phone, I use it to charge my laptop, I use it to charge the kids' iPads, I use it to run my bug zapper back at camp, I use it on every single overseas trip, I use it on every single meeting. I basically have it with me everywhere. There's always something that needs to be charged. And for me, when I run my business on the road, especially my phone, because I'm always on it. And finally, because you can use any power bank, you can buy a few of them and just rotate them. If your Starlink is set up away from the car, you can have one power bank running the dish, while the other one is at the back of the car charging through your solar setup, for example. Or you can even just have a bunch of them already charged up during the day on solar, and you can use them at night away from the car. It is a highly efficient loop. If there's one piece of gear you need to take away from this video, let it be the USB-C cable. The setup fundamentally relies on it because it allows you to use any high output USB-C power source, and it unlocks so many options and turns the Starlink from a vehicle-bound accessory into a truly adaptable piece of gear that you can take anywhere. With this cable and power bank, you can throw the Starlink in a backpack, you can take it on a hike, you can take it camping, you can take it really anywhere without needing the car or a heavy mount. You don't even have to have a tripod, you can just put it on the floor if you want to. You can also run it in any car using a 12-volt cigarette lighter to 100-watt USB-C adapter and some basic mounts. Just run it out your window and keep the window a little bit open. So keep it simple, keep it modular, and don't overpay for gear you don't really need. If you have found this setup to be helpful, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a like for me. And as a reminder, I have dropped links to the mounts, cables, tripod adapters, and power banks I use down in the description below, so you can check them out for yourself and you don't have to go digging around. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.